I want to talk to you about the choices you used for the 49 gallery. These are not, some of them are very great paintings, but they're not something that you would get in most people's oeuvre of painting poems. They pick the obvious ones like Mona Lisa, or they pick Guernica by Pablo Picasso, but they're not really engaging with the artist, and they're not looking at little gems that are outside of the general canon. And these poems use, some are well known, but more often than not, you'd have to be painting literate in order to understand where each poem resides in the canon of these works. And you even have a few questionable paintings, like 129 Die by Andy Warhol, but are needless made to be more by the way that you write about it.
Well, there are some poems like the Joseph Stella poem about the Brooklyn Bridge that I wanted to do, and specifically the Grandma Chin poem about the Caravaggio painting. But some of them I self-educated myself on painting in the 1990s. The Taschen books. Anyone who wants to educate themselves on painting should just go to Taschen.com or go to like a half-price books and look for those books, so you can see the top 50 or 100 paintings of whatever painter the book is on. And sometimes I just go through and I go, okay, this is interesting, great, blah, blah, blah. But then some painting, like Tenant Farmer or something might catch my eye. And I don't, off the top of my head, I don't even remember what it actually looks like. If I look at it, I can say, oh, this is why I wrote that line. But I'm not going to do that here, because the interesting thing is I just took something, caught my eye about it, and I say, okay, why did I stop here on this one? And then the titles are all tripartite. Tenant Farmer by Andrew Wyeth as the invention of character in a since gone time, and then it all has an epigraph that doesn't come after the title but before the title, but also because it's on the right hand side, it's like the billing in old Hollywood movies. If you had two huge stars and one of them wanted top billing, instead of going left to right on the same line, they'd have the star billed on the left lower than the star on the right, so that someone could read it either line, this, that the person on the right is up higher, they're first, or on the left, the person on the left but lower is first, so that they would be equal. And so that's one of the reasons that I have it structured that way, because the epigraphs, in a sense, are equal to the painting. But in or to the title rather, the title defines what it's going to be about. The subtitles define the thing that's going again, what's going out. But then there's also the epigraphs, which sometimes might expand upon it even more. So you get not just going out to the second power, but to the third power. But also sometimes they play often, and some of them are just MacGuffins thrown out there that you can use or not. So Andrew Wyeth, I did a show on him a few months ago. And then the other Wyeth painting, Winter 1946. Again, I vaguely remember that, but that has one of the most famous quotes of all time in science: "We find no vestige of a beginning, no prospect of an end." James Hutton, Theory of the Earth. Um, uh, so
Well,
I,
if you look at Tenant Farmer, there are scenes that obviously reference painting, like the snow is an architect and you are its construction working, the painting, the byproduct are of many borrowed things. And this is why, when you do ekphrastics, how you can reference the painting, but you could read this quatrain here and you would get an image by itself anyway. So the words are in such a great order anyway that they're able to play off the painting while simultaneously being a universe unto themselves.
yeah, winter will end at the seam of its hard and reluctant march, meaning the march of time or the march of winter, but also March the month. Yeah, and you have to do that because, again, there's no point in just recapitulating another person's work of art unless you do something more. Use that as a jumping off point. Um, uh, and again, so few writers do that or understand that. I mean, what's worse than uh, if I did Wyeth's Christina's World, the girl trembles at the edge of the hill. I mean, what's the point of doing that? I mean, you could presumably do that, but you'd have to go beyond that and use Christina's World. Maybe compare that to a dying dinosaur, or a bison that's just been attacked by a hyena pack or something. Maybe you could do something interesting. But to just recapitulate a famous painting, or if I write about a film or something, there's no reason to do that. But people, they just don't see that.